It's too late. We're gonna rock with it. Welcome. It's Pernell Bobby, your boy. Getting ready to give you this astrotherapy download. All right. Take a moment to check the pinned chats. I think this is. I'm pretty sure this is.
Understanding and deriving meaningful insights from data.
Getting hit with ads on myself. It's crazy. Yep, they got me on the upright. Bah. 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 Alright, I gotta fix my iPad because I was not ready for this upright game. Get something over there. Can you make it? Can you make it? Oh, I made it. I made it with the light. Okay, does that work? I saw this effery. It actually works. Okay, here we go. So, I had to get the light right. Forgive the orientation. I was definitely trying to go sideways. Hit the thumbs up. Bust it early. Alright? Today is one of the members only live chats, so try to let you know that now, but you can take a moment to vote. Only real announcement before I get into the Aries Full Moon deep dive is to go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And outside of that, you're going to see something that says Blast of Hope. And, I went ahead and just said, look, this is how I'm going to run membership. This is already speaking about Mars and Gemini. Okay, Mars likes to cut. Mars likes to cut. And it's cutting with a trine energy. Mars is trining what? Saturn and Aquarius. So these two wind energies are very strategic, very methodical in their cutting process. So what the things that are getting cut already are starting to say on this Aries full moon, which happens all October 9th. October 9th, it is a full moon. Closings, illuminations up to about 7 days after the full moon. So that's leading into not only the retrograde and Mercury going direct, but later in the month, I believe around October 25th, you have another Saturn, all right, going direct. Saturn retrograde is going direct. The critical elements right now off the rip about the Aries full moon, okay? This light is a little bright. The critical elements about the Aries full moon is all about not necessarily just being confident, not just being raw, not just getting back to the full conclusion of the primitive nature of doing and being what you are. I was on Morse World yesterday, TV, cutting it up. I want to hear about that. But, I'm an Aries, right? I'm a triple Aries. Right? My progressed chart, I don't have as much Aries, only my sun. But, it's an energy I'm very much familiar with. And whenever you talk about Aries, you have to think about authority and power. You have to think about authority, you have to think about power. So it's like, who's your father? And if not your father, who's your boss? And if not your boss, who's the person that essentially, if they wanted to, can clip your wings? And so these are energies you got to think about, because Aries in the full moon is starting to say, look, and what's going on, Secret? It's starting to say, look, hit that thumbs up. You may not, I'm just going to let y'all know, Secret, thank you, shout out to you. It's funny that you're on it live today because I'm going to start off with that out of honors. Secret, she got me this tarot deck. And actually it's an oracle deck, and I'm going to pull a card off the rip as we get deeper into the Aries full moon. Today I'm not going to give transit, I'm not going to give rising sign updates today. I want to talk more about what is the full moon, all right? So shout out to the members that joined. We currently have 9 members, which is super dope. Really happy, really proud. I have extended the memberships outside of YouTube, and you'll see Astro memberships, all right? But it's not just that. If you want to get on my email list, you want to go to Astro memberships. If you want to book a new reading with me, an astrotherapy session with me, you want to get on the Astro memberships, okay? If you want to get 50% off on certain reasons, you want to go on the Astro memberships. So check that out when you can, all right? While back things still happening. But today we're talking about your confidence, your power, your authority. Understand there's a reason why the sun is exalted in Aries. And essentially it's because it's not going to care about external validation. Aries is a sign of self-actualization. Okay, here we go. And I have recently got this. I like this card. I left this card out for about like a week. I'm not even gonna stunt. And self-actualization. So right now, this energy on the full moon is being, first off, South is fire when you talk about elemental magic. Okay, South is fire. Let me see if I can get this. All right, South is fire. okay? And as a part of that, it's about assertion. But because it's in the moon, understand not only that, but it's at 16 degrees, while the Libra sun is 16 degrees, this is not going to be as aggressive in an open manner, okay? This is not going to be an aggressively open energy. I don't like this light. My glasses are about to get on my face. Okay, I don't like that light. So, you're taking an adventure, but this may not necessarily, this is about the inner flame, and that's why I coined the title what I did. This is about the inner flame. This is not the type of energy where on this full moon it's going to necessarily be this extravagant out there showing everybody how confident you've become, showing everybody how raw and willing you are to explore and adventure into the deeper, more primitive parts around your identity, about your identity. This is something more low-key, in my personal opinion, where you're just going to start to come into realization, all right, as you hit that thumbs up. You're going to start to come to the realization that that you don't really know where you're going when it comes to diving deeper into yourself. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, while Jupiter is in retrograde, it's not going to be until about later, like December, January, that this full moon now will start to make more sense. And it starts to help you push into new earth. Okay, and that's more around Capricorn season, new earth. Cardinal energy, earth. All right, when you start to materialize and show more publicly what this looks like. The reason is because Libra is the opposite energy, and Libra is pretty much shadowing a lot of the Aries energy. Aries is not tremendously strong right now on this full moon. Libra is much more dominant in general, and also retrograde is happening in Aries. Jupiter in Aries is retrograde. So this is about reassessing this new start that you've taken into spirituality, this new start that is coming to more of an illumination for you that has already been activated about 6 months ago. Starting to help you understand where is the success at in your chart, aka check Aries. Where is the success in your chart that is or has been private, but now is being at bare minimum illuminated for you, allowing you to take new adventures. I want to say legit spiritual adventures, moving beyond the point where you're just starting off what success and philosophy looks like, the new philosophy of you within yourself, you within your own body, right? And that's, I say philosophy as success because Jupiter is a symbol of success, it's a symbol of expansion, it's a symbol of philosophy, it's about, you know, seeing the most optimistic view of Aries, yourself, starting to see yourself in a more optimistic view, which means you have to know what darkness you've come from. And you're going to get much more familiar with that, where Aries is in the dark, right? It's in the second half of the season right now. But we're already retrograding our philosophies and what we have as for a form of wisdom, Jupiter, about ourselves. The wisdom that we have now on this full moon in Aries when it comes to self-actualizing the identity that you have developed and created for yourself. And what I can tell you is this will be a type of energy where with this full moon, you're going to understand where and why you're willing to fight for yourself, where and why you're willing to fight to continue to actualize this new expansion, and not just your identity, not just your personality, but the more raw and primitive aspects of yourself. And you're going to start to actually feel emotionally secure. You're going to start to be able to recognize in relationship dynamics, because we have this going in opposition to Venus and Libra. So let's be real. Venus and Libra, okay, really the valuing of having more harmonious relationships, but willing to be cold and detached. Because this is what I think people forget about Libra often as the shadow aspect of Aries. It's like, you have to be willing to be cold, calculated, detached in certain manners, like an air sign, and use intelligence, use rationality, and not always, and I speak about this for myself, not always to just go ahead and shoot off the hip, okay? And this is kind of going to be one of the adventures south. This is one of the adventures south. When I say south, I mean within to the fire, okay? And when I say the fire, I mean like, well, as the season comes back around, Jupiter will go back in Aries later. It's going to dip back into Pisces. We have a little bit more karma. Thank you for that thumbs up. I saw you. We have a little bit more karma to go ahead and wrap up and complete. Jupiter, and it's like a philosophical karma, okay? It's the karma that we have to face in order to embrace our next level of success. Our next, and I say success again because of what? Jupiter. So our next level of success will actually encourage us to embrace where do you need to just be a little bit more raw, but not necessarily overt, loud, aggressive, and even combative with it, because the moon is private. So this is about an internal flame. This is something where it's gonna really be like a slow cooker, but in burst. Okay, so it's gonna be a slow cook, but it's gonna happen in burst. And you're gonna see this in relationships. You're gonna find yourself in the dynamics with your business partners as well as your friendships. You're gonna find yourself stepping and embracing this new season of intelligence, this new season of relating and communicating with lovers, all right? Where there are gonna be one or two things happening. Depending on what you did for shadow work back in January of this year, Venus and Libra right now can either do one or two things. It can harmonize the relationships that you're already currently in, or bring you more harmonious relationships that are new, because cardinal energy is always new, right? Cardinal energy is always new. I want to have y'all go ahead and take a moment to check this out, all right? Karmic relation, not karmic relationships, but cardinal wind, cardinal air is about taking a very clear and pure look, all right, at what's true, and actually fighting for what's true about you. Because the moon in Aries and coming to completion as it's full, it's like, well, Aries is a fighter of truth, and Libra is, in a sense, balancing out what's true and what's not. All right, as the two dualities of the scales, it'll put your heart on the scale and weigh your heart against your mind, and it's gonna say, look, is your mind weighing more? Are you mentally heavy right now with thoughts and ideas that you did not purify during Virgo season, or did you balance that out with your heart? All right, or maybe your heart is a little bit too invested. And if you find yourself too invested with heart energy, you don't have enough rationality, enough intelligence involving in relational dynamics that says, look, right here, right now, I need to be a little bit more cold, then you're going to be heart heavy here. And you're going to be a little bit more emotional, especially as we're going into Scorpio season very soon. We're going into an eclipse. Scorpio eclipse on the new moon is happening later this month, around like what, October 25th, October 30th, something like that. And so you have that eclipse coming. And it's like, look, things will die. So if you dealt with your stuff in shadow work in January, especially around matters of sex, I really want to say this when it matters of sex, because let's be honest, what impacts, I need to get a card for y'all on the dragons real quick. What impacts your relationships with others, okay? And a lot of it is sexual energy, sexual attention. Even if you didn't fuck that person, right? You didn't even have to fuck nobody. This could be a coworker, this could be a person at work, or this could be somebody you're in business with where you have sexual attention. You have, you have a certain sexual attention that maybe y'all do need to duke it out. And if it's not that, maybe you need to start recognizing that that sexual energy is not anything physical at all. And that's only the initial jump of Aries. That's not using the intelligence in a sense of Libra, who will be able to weigh out and think a little bit about, am I actually sexually attracted to this person in a physical manner? Or am I just attracted to them in my sacral chakra energy, a relationship chakra energy? Is it attracted in a way that I want to create something with them? I want to engage and push a new project. I have this idea and I want to push this new idea with that person. And I'm willing to do that on this Aries Full Moon because I recognize my own internal authority. I recognize that. And right now what I want to say is you really need to check in on this transit with the full moon Aries. You need to check in with 10th house placements, all right? See where the father's at. Check your sun sign. See what the influence of your father was, okay? And how you see or deem authority. What does authority feel, look, and taste like in your life? Jupiter could be the father as well. If you look at it from the Greek mythology standpoint of Zeus, Zeus is the father of all gods, right? So it's like this is an energy. You can see like fatherly energy in Zeus. Otherwise, anything 1st degree, 5th degree, 29th degree, 13th degree, 25th degree, 17th degree. This is all father type energy. Aries in the 10th would be a prime example. You have Aries exalted in the sun, the father is the sun, what to be consciously aware of. And you also have 10th house, which is also kind of related and linked to the father. 4th house being more of the mother. And I honestly feel like there's a lot of controversy between 4th house, 10th house, who's the father, who's the mother. I did kind of switch it and mutate a little bit within the middle of that process. I do strongly believe that father is more 10th house. Okay, even when I look at my own chart and not listen to other astrologers and just really feel intuitively for myself, I do intuitively feel that 4th house is more of the mother, and 10th house is more of the father. Now, I'm not here for that in the moment. For my chart, it is more accurate to that, but I'll leave that alone for now. So I'm gonna say Aries in the 10th, this is authority energy. This is really making sure that you're not here to save the day, okay? Because Aries loves to save the day. But while you have it in the moon, it's a moment where you have to think about this full moon, how are you gonna save yourself? How are you gonna save yourself? How are you gonna stop relying on relationships that you're in with other people to go ahead and solve your problems for you? Because Libra likes to do that. Libra has an army of people at its disposal. And Libra will more likely want to solve things with another person from the standpoint of, hey, look, you're involved and I'm involved. Where can we meet as a happy center? And a lot of times it will sacrifice itself. It will sacrifice its own intelligence when it knows what it needs to do or how it needs to do it. It'll likely sacrifice in its own situation, its own intelligence. Wow, I never had the silver dragon before. I never had the silver one before. I'm liking this thing. Illuminates the potential and untapped resources. Okay, I get this is now. I have had this. Okay, great. So this is like Jupiter and Aries energy. This dragon from Arcturus is quite frankly asking you to connect with the energy of the planet Arcturus. And ultimately it's kind of telling you that, like, look, you know, you're a leader. And leaders require a certain sense of creative. Thank you for that thumbs up. I saw you. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for the members. We got 9 new members in the group. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you on that. In case you want to be a member here, all right, by the time I get 1 new member, I will be getting a new emoji that I'm going to implement. So go ahead and drop. This is the membership here on YouTube. So go ahead and drop what might you want for that new emoji, all right? But this is for the YouTube membership. So this energy is like, this is the spiritual leader energy type thing. And it's like, look, you have to understand that you have a karmic purpose and you are, in a sense, a guiding light. Look at the wand. This is like a wand of wisdom. It's like Jupiter type energy, wisdom. And it's like, you are a guiding light. You are a leader in your own space, in your own capacity. Aries, you're a leader of yourself and wherever Aries is in your heart. If I use the 10th house as an example, it's like you must run your own career, period. You must step into everything that is new and bold within your career and realize that your career might shift. You might always push for more. You might always push for a new career, something that is a little bit more aligned with your heart. And so that's just an example for there. But if I get back to this and I look a little bit at the transits, okay, on this Aries full moon, sorry, it's at the 16th degree. Like I said, this is private, this is an internal thing. But you have to understand that Mercury has already gone direct and it's at that degree of hidden wealth. The hidden wealth, extreme wealth, is like the 28th degree. 2 and 8 is like Bill Gates, Elon Musk type. Though they're, you know, Steve Jobs, they have that 2-8 energy. And it's like this extreme wealth. But a lot of times it's like hidden wealth. Like you didn't see them before they had their wealth, right? You only saw them because they're so wealthy that it began to be difficult to hide in a way. Now, outside of that, because I think they have some 10th house, so maybe it is a little more public, but this hidden wealth is right now, on this full moon, is within our minds. Because our minds have basically said, look, there's something that we need to purify within ourselves. And I don't want to say purify, there's a piece of data, Virgo, that we have already received. And we've already went retrograde, and now we're direct. So we're going to make sure that you don't miss this hidden wealth. And a lot of times, this is about making sure you have excreted, literally shit, like pooped out through the rectum, through the small intestines, the mental jargon that is negative self-talk, okay, self being Aries, the negative self-talk that you had against yourself is making sure that you understand your hidden wealth is in actually speaking positive about yourself, not denying and getting into the positive toxicity culture, toxic positivity, not denying that there are things happening in your mind and not everything is sunshine and rainbow, but understanding that you can recognize that and you can choose to be grateful at the same time and recognize that gratitude is the path back to the self, okay? That's how we thank you for that thumbs up, I saw you. Gratitude is the path back to the self, okay? It's the path back to understanding that there's always room to grow. There's always room for constant improvement. So the hidden wealth in this is check your negative self-talk. Are you talking to yourself positively? And on the daily, are you doing things like mantras that's empowering you yourself? All right. Now, the fact that Jupiter is at 1 degrees at the time in retrograde still, so we have already passed this. At the time that the full moon is at 16, there's no, it's not close enough to have any conjunction going on, but it is the degree of Aries itself. So you have Aries at Aries' own degree. So this is very, very potent for seeing yourself more optimistically in the future to come. Okay. And making sure you have also took the time on this full moon to understood and take reflection, introspection time, which full moons are often times of rest. Take the time to introspect, reflect, okay, dive deeper and not move too quickly, and understand, what about myself have I gained for a new sense of confidence, a new sense of courage that I now can use boldly to either approach my family in a new way, because this is 16th degree, it could be family energy, it is the moon, so it could be family energy, but I'm honestly getting more about emotional intelligence. What about myself has made me more emotionally intelligent? As I passed over, the moon would have passed over 13 degrees, crossing in opposition to Venus in Libra, okay? The two shadow aspects, Libra 13 degrees, a degree of Aries again. So this Aries written all over it, but it's kind of private. It's hidden. It's not in your face like boom, boom, boom. Look at me, Mars and Aries. It's kind of like, look, I'm here, but I'm only here if you're willing to see me, if you're willing to actually self-actualize me. And this was definitely going to be something where like you're gonna have to understand and self-actualize what is the more up-to-date version of your sexuality. All right, thank you for that thumbs up. I do see you. What's the more up-to-date version of your sexuality? Because like I said, this is, all right, I want to drop my Phoenix emoji. This is in a sense the rebirth of self. Aries is one of those energies. Oh, I didn't take off the transparent background. Okay, I'm gonna make that adjustment. I just made the Phoenix, but I could tell I didn't take off the transparent background. So we're gonna do a little witchcraft later. Okay, this one does work. I know that. We're gonna fix that later. So it's like, and in case you want to join the membership, like I said, we have 9 members currently on YouTube here. That'd be super dope. If you're looking to get on the email list, anything like that, I want you to go ahead and see that if you're looking to just support me as a creator who does this full time, then there are options here. It's on this membership called Blast of Hope. So for me, it's like I have my Aries in the 11th house. All right, so that's a prime example. Using the internet, using online, being more confident, being more bold. What I didn't mention yet that's super fucking critical about this full moon in Aries, super fucking critical, okay, is that Chiron is here. Chiron is in Aries. And I almost can't believe I missed that, and that's why I had to come back to the chart. Now, where is Chiron at the time? It's at 14 degrees, degree of Taurus, the degree of self-worth, the degree of self-worth, one step past what you instinctually need. Because Aries is a base energy about what do I need and what do I want. And Aries can struggle about what it needs and what it wants. They can be two very different things. So, illuminate your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Boom, here we go. This is Chiron. Look into your soul and see higher possibilities. And that's what this card is right here. So this is kind of where Chiron and Aries is really coming up and playing its part. Untapped resources. Resources is Taurus. Like I said, Chiron is at the 14th degree. So it's not the 2nd degree of Taurus, which is like supreme power. It is the 14th degrees, a step deeper into consciousness. Not necessarily supreme power, but a step deeper into the Taurian consciousness of what does it value, what does it find worthy. And it's about, with this energy, you have to look deeper into the wounds you have with authority, deeper into the wounds you have with power. So for me, it was like, me running groups, I had these deep wounds when it came to working for other companies, working for other businesses, and building up their shit, and then really just getting ripped out as if I didn't matter. And that shit, for me as an Aries, really hurt. Like, to get ripped out, build up this organization, spend my 2 years of my life force energy, but putting in about 5 years worth of work in that too, because I'm an Aries, right? So we just push for new, better, bigger, bolder, better, risk, okay? And for me in the 11th house, this Chiron Aries in my 11th house this year, my sun in 11th house Aries this year, I see 11 people watching. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. If you have not hit it, go ahead and support your boy, hit that thumbs up. So for me, this is literally, I'm gonna have to do it, okay? This is where me as a Scorpio rising had to go through this rebirth. And you see I went ahead and dropped the Scorpio emojis. It just made that one too. Really loving it. So again, go ahead and check it out. This for me is the rebirth. It's like, look, Pernell, like it does, you have to let that go. Like I had to take the time to get sad, allow myself to be sad, allow myself to grieve. And the grieving process is never linear. The grieving process is never linear. So it's like, I had to start recognizing that when I was sad, it was an invitation to grieve. Chiron in Aries or Chiron in any sign is like, look, where can you grieve in order to access more of these powers, right? And so at the 14th degree right here, it's about accessing and seeing the higher possibilities, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is in Aries and it's at the 1st degree at the time of this full moon. So it's like seeing the higher possibilities, okay? With an optimistic viewpoint, third eye is Sagittarius or Jupiter energy. And if not Sag, Pisces is just I understand. So it doesn't even need the third eye. It's just understand. It's crown chakra now, so it's just understanding. But we have it in Aries, so we have to understand to see the higher possibilities, and that's what this dragon here has came for to support the silver dragon. See the higher possibilities and recognize that our resources are at this point still untapped as long as we don't tap on our bigger, deeper wounds, the things that cut us the deepest. I gave you one example there, okay? So we're starting to look at and the fact that we have the moon here, this is about nostalgia, right? So for me, if I look at it, it's like I just recently today cut my website out. I said Mars in Gemini at this time frame. Where is it at? It's trining, if I'm not mistaken, Saturn in Aquarius. But let me check. Where you at, Gemini? Okay, boom, it is. So it is trining. There's a 4-degree org. So it is in a way working its way back, but this will go retrograde, which means what? That 22nd degree of Gemini, Mars in Gemini, will go retrograde back and pass over again later in the year. This is positive because we are being asked with Saturn Aquarius during this time frame to go ahead and be self-disciplined with our routines and the ways that we take care of not only our body, but our online groups, systems, structures, right? The practices that we must do. How are we going to find ways to make it more efficient? On this full moon in Aries, it's like a lot of this is happening in private. So it's like you're not going to really get the fame and the clout that maybe you put the work in for, so we cannot base it on that. But the beauty is Mars and Gemini, wind in the Aquarius, and Saturn will go retrograde or leave out of retrograde soon, in about a week, 2 weeks, and it's been there for months, like 5 months or something like that. It's a long time to have Saturn, the ruler of time, to be, in a sense, repressing us, to say, look, are you really going at this like an Aries with a pure heart? And Aries is one of those elements of like 0 to 2-year-old baby. It has a pure heart. So if you're not approaching this new self, this new emotional intelligence, being able to recognize, look, no psychic attacks on me, okay? It's fire, so I see through your bullshit. None of that nonsense on me. Through emotional intelligence, 16th degree, we can see these are your emotions and these are mine. And we're going to make sure that we keep them separate. Now, where you fall victim, in a sense, to this energy is trying to help somebody that does not want to be helped. If you were trying to help somebody that doesn't want to help, or you try to pull that savior mentality of Aries, which a lot of it is in the sky, or you know that you're not supposed to save somebody, but you try it anyways because Libra is the opposite end of Aries, that savior energy. So it's like, let me try to give a bunch of ideas, some new fresh ideas that you didn't think about. If you try to save a hoe in this instance, it's going to pay back dividends of pain, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to hurt. And we have to recognize that somebody that does not want to save themselves, somebody that wants to destruct, somebody that wants to self-sabotage, they want you to play that role. And I had to recognize this in my life as well as a triple Aries. Like, I had to recognize where in relationships, we're talking relationship energy of Libra, where in relationship have people wanted me to play the martyr, wanted me to sacrifice myself so that they didn't have to go through their own healing, so they didn't have to take the time out. And not only that, but how did I and why did I play that role? To deny myself, to deny self-actualization. This is the full moon in Aries. Self-actualization, okay? As a need, as a basic instinct, what I need in private. And one of the things I have to recognize, what I need privately as a part of my own internal flame is, honest to God, somebody in partnerships, Libra, partnerships that do not want me to play the role of their hero, of their savior, okay, that does not want to play princess and I go play knight. So that's just for me. Now, standardly, I have a fifth house, okay, stellium. So love, romance, sex, these are the themes that I have to recognize for myself. So you have to apply it to your own life. Now, at the progressed sign, I'm in the 11th house. Like I said, I gave examples about groups, networks, okay, and large support systems. So beyond that, the big surprise, the big boom boom on this, quite frankly, to me, is the fact that you only have 2 degrees away on this full moon with Chiron and Aries. This is the game changer. If I check what Chiron and Aries is going back and forth with, it's a 1 degree of orb, okay, from Venus in Libra, and it's a 2 degree orb from the Sun in Libra. Don't forget that we still during this retrograde have Saturn and Uranus, both 18 degrees not conjunct but squaring. So, you know, what this means, as the North Node is also at 14 degrees in Taurus, it's like, it's this again. It's untapped resources. It's untapped resources. So we have to carry this energy from the future, Aquarius, as a guiding light. For now, this is what I got for you. I'm gonna roll you a dice. This is my little, this is my astrology dice. I'm gonna roll a dice and ask the people, what do you need to know? And oh yeah, this is the one. I'm gonna make a totally separate video about this, but what we got so far is Virgo in the 11th house, okay, friendships, but we got that with what? In its opposition, Neptune. So this is going back to, again, Mercury, but not only that, this is gonna turn into the Mars square Neptune. And there's a lot of deceit, there's a lot of lying. So this Aries full moon is gonna essentially ask you to embrace this inner flame, embrace this private understanding of emotional intelligence for you yourself. Take time alone, take time for yourself. Don't be the standard stereotypical Aries who just runs forward into danger without assessing any type of Libra traits, all right? Looking how to harmoniously embrace the relationships as other people in their rose-colored glasses get taken off. Man, that light is too bright. Do not, rose-colored glasses is a theme, okay? And the dice roll for me is telling you that Mars will go ahead and cut up, but it's like drunk driving, but having a toddler take the wheel. So I'm going to make a separate video on Mars squaring Neptune, but it doesn't matter because it's happening around this time in the Aries full moon. But it's basically like a toddler driving with, you know, almost like a group of people, and all of y'all are on one big ass karmic mission to end your suffering and to end karma, okay, that has accumulated because you have betrayed yourself in past lives, or because you have self-sabotaged relationships by using themes of let's say unhealthy sexual encounters, because this one's big, right? Venus in Libra is, I made a top 6 toxic traits in relationships, and using sex as an escapism was one of them. So it's like the data shows who matters and who doesn't. The data, Virgo, shows what illusions are being cut through, and Mars and Gemini is the one cutting it up. So look, this is what I got for you from here. I'm going to go enjoy myself for the rest of the night. And I want to say, love you. Thank you. Go ahead if you have joined the membership here, or if you just want to donate, all right, this is the place to do it. Blast of Hope, Astro Memberships. I went ahead and made it off my own site. I made a little bare minimums about that earlier. If you want to go to the email list, check out that Blast of Membership. Okay, I'm making brand new emojis. Like I said, we currently have 9 members here on the YouTube channel. Super dope. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's part of my own personal transformation as a rising. But I'm taking it off the tube, and I'm going ahead and doing it on my own private networks because, let's be honest, this is a part of the square, and looking at the illnesses within these structures that currently exist. Facebook, Instagram, there's certain illnesses. Incurable. 18 degrees is incurable illnesses with the resources that we have. Squaring Saturn and Aquarius. Saturn and Aquarius squaring the resources with Uranus and Taurus, asking us to rapidly update our systems, rapidly update what it means to be disciplined with our sense of worth, our sense of self, okay, with our money, right? Making cutbacks and optimizing the money, optimizing the channels and the roots of the money. So a lot of this again is happening in private, but it's happening in private with the full in Aries at 16 degrees by saying, look, you're gonna have to be bold and take a risk. Because thank you for that thumbs up, I appreciate you. You're gonna have to be bold. Thank you for that thumbs up, I appreciate you. You have to be bold and you have to take a risk somewhere. Because otherwise, if your life has been stagnant, it will stay and maintain that way. Unless you do something different. It's Pernell Bobby asking you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're brand new. All right, if you're rocking with us, go ahead and check out the Blast of Hope membership. You can go ahead and literally buy me a Blast of Hope if you really want to. You'll see the options. You can join my email list there. You have, as members, 50% discounts. That's it. That shit's crazy, bro. 50% discount off my astrology readings. That is crazy. A 50% discount off my astrology reading. That is crazy. If you go ahead and check out the Blast of Hope, it's the last comment. I'll drop it one more time here. All right. Email list, like I said, and as well as Angel Reiki. So this is one more step deeper into me being my full and authentic self. All right. Angel Reiki, Dragon Reiki, technically is Angelic Dragon Reiki for me because I use both. Understand that they operate different realms. Angels can't do what dragons can do. Okay, angels work 7th dimension and up. Dragons are like 9, actually they're like 4th dimension and up, quite frankly. Primarily 5th, but they chose to stay back in the 4th. I'm not going to get deep into that. But if you're looking to go ahead and actually transcend at a rapid rate, at the rate that Uranus is asking of us, your sense of worth, by having angels and dragons and animals help, these are all my friends, okay? These are my best friends. So if you click that last link, you'll see Angelic Reiki. You'll understand what it means. You could do it one-on-one with me. But I will be doing that in groups. I will be doing Angelic Reiki in groups. I will be teaching astrology, helping you learn astrology to go ahead and dissect these degrees, these squares, these trines, these kites, okay, these T-squares, which are different than squares. I'm going to help you to do that if you really, really, really want to learn astrology. I'm going to get ready to do that on the back end. And you can see all of that information on the Blast of Hope. I left behind Calendly. I left behind my website. I made these cuts, and I've optimized the processes. It's being asked of me to be bold and risky with it. So this is the Aries Full Moon. I want to say thank you. I love you. This is me going through my Scorpio rising. And my witchcraft. Fuck you if you don't agree with it. Go ahead and meditate. And then blast off, baby. You're going to see the Phoenix take its... I'm going to move that white off that Phoenix later. So I love you. Ciao.